Hi students, welcome back to the YouTube videos. Today I am going to make you understand the gerunds. So without wasting much time, let's start. Here is the content which I am going to explain you all one by one. I will start with a brief introduction of gerunds. After that I'll explain you how gerunds are different from other non-finite verbs like participles and infinitives. I will also explain you the difference between noun and gerund. Now by this time your doubts will have cleared. So next I will explain you the function of gerunds with the help of some selected questions. So let's start what is gerund first with the help of definition. The gerund is that form of verb which ends in ing and has the force of a noun and a verb. Now here you understand it is a form of verb which there are many forms of verbs, no? So it is one of them and it ends with the suffix ing, means at the end of any gerund you will get an ing tail. For example, reading, ing is there, writing, ing is there, eating, swimming, investigating, playing, etc. etc. So these are gerunds. Depends upon its application. Okay. Now one more point I just want one more point is written here, that it has the force of a noun and a verb. It means it acts as a noun in a sentence. There is no doubt in it that it acts like like a noun, but it also has some verb like qualities. As ing is added in a gerund, it denotes process. Now let's understand in detail how it acts like a noun. For example, reading. For example, reading is my favorite pastime. Here you see reading is gerund. Now you will apply the same definition here, what we have read just now, that a gerund ends in with ing. So the word reading ends in ing, right? Now, in the sentence, reading is my favorite pastime. What is subject? Reading. Reading is the subject, right? So the noun also, what we have read, that noun also does the same work. That noun is either a subject or object in a sentence, and so here gerund has the force of a noun, means it acts like a noun, means it is either a subject or object. So here reading is subject working like a noun, and thus it is a gerund. Also it has some qualities of verb. For example, reading means padhna, process, no? Thus we can say a reading is that form of verb which has the force of a noun and a verb. Now, you must be thinking something like this you have read in participles too, something ing short of, no? So, for clearing that doubt, I have brought some points that distinguish between gerund and present participle. The similarity between present participle and gerund is that the both ends in ing suffix and both of them have the force of verb, right? But here you understand present participle acts like an adjective, but gerund never acts like an adjective, it acts like a noun. Now with the help of examples I'll explain you. See, in the present participle example side you see, she was found singing a song. Here, the word singing is the ing form of sing and functioning like a verb. It tells the continuity. How was she found? So she was found singing. Now the second example, she got the reading task. Here reading is the ing form of read and functioning like an adjective, because the word reading here is qualifying the word task, and task is noun. Now, which task she got? So, she got reading task. So, here reading is participle, present participle. Now, suppose if instead of reading, I write easy task, tough task, wonderful task, huge task. So, in that case, all these words like easy, tough, wonderful, huge, they are what? They are not participles because they are not ending with ing. So, they are adjective. They are simply adjectives. So, one important thing you need to understand, that when ing form of verb acts like an adjective, it is undoubtedly present participle. Now you see gerund. Singing a song, singing is one of my favorite hobbies. Here singing is the subject, so acting like a noun, and also has ing form. Thus we can say that it is a gerund. Similarly, reading in the second sentence is gerund, as it is acting like a subject. So in both these sentences, singing is one of my favorite hobbies and reading makes the man wiser. In both of these sentences, singing and reading are gerund because they are the subject in the sentence, and they are doing the work of a noun. Now we will see the difference between infinitive and gerund. First point tells the structure. Infinitive is the base form of verb often preceded by to, and gerund is the ing form of verb. So structure wise they are same. They look same, okay? But their function is sorry, they look different. Sorry to say, infinitive is the base form of the verb, no? So base form of the verb like go, play, come, right? So these are the base form of verb, and it is often preceded by to, means just before this to always comes, and gerund is the ing form of the verb. So they do not look same. They do not look same, okay? Their structure is different. They do not look same, but their function is same, because infinitive also does the work of a noun and a verb, and gerund also does the work of a noun and verb. Now with the help of examples, I'll explain you. Teach me to swim, teach me swimming, okay? Here teach me to, either you write teach me to swim or you write teach me swimming, the meaning is almost same, but the way they are looking, like to swim and they're swimming, that is different. So they look different, but the function is almost same, okay? Now you see noun and gerund. Now, as I've already told you that gerunds act like a noun, but it is not noun actually, okay? They are different things. Let's understand how they are different. First point. Noun can have different ending, but gerund always ends in ing. For example, thought is noun, so thinking is gerund. Investigation is noun, so investigating is gerund. Sale is noun, so selling is gerund. So what we have seen in all the gerunds that they are ended in ing form, but all nouns do not end with ing suffix. Now number 2, noun is the name or idea, whereas gerund is the process, the act of doing something, like karna, right? Like swim karna, that is called swimming and it is gerund. Read karna, that is called reading and it is gerund. So reading is good for knowledge, means पढ़ना अच्छा है हमारे knowledge के लिए. But in noun, this process is not seen. Noun is simply the name of a person, of an animal, of a thing, of an or the name of an idea, the name of a feeling. So it is simply the name. Now point number 3. Noun can be preceded by determiners. Determiners or articles. Determiners like some, several, some, many, and articles like a and the. So it can be preceded, means just before noun, articles or determiners come. But in the case of gerund, it doesn't apply. For example, the death of her cousin changed her completely. Now in this particular sentence, you see the death. Here death is noun and the is used. The is article. So here death is noun. It cannot be gerund. Obviously it cannot be gerund because ing is not there. Now number 4. Noun never act like a verb, but gerund has verb-like qualities. Okay. Now number 5. Noun can be singular or plural, but gerund doesn't have any singular or plural form. In noun chapter, we have already read that noun can be singular, plural, countable, uncountable, right? But gerund cannot have its singular or plural form. We cannot say reading and reading, swimming and swimmings. No, it doesn't have any singular or plural form. Now you see, two examples are given. In the first one, investigation is noun, whereas the other example, the word investigating is verb. Thus these are the basic differences between noun and gerunds. I hope it would have been cleared to you. Now we will see how gerunds are used. So what we have read, that gerunds are, the gerunds are acting like noun, so they will be either subject or object. Let's see in detail. First one, subject of a verb. Seeing is believing. Here seeing is the subject of a verb, and what is verb there? Is. Now number 2, object of a transitive verb. Children love making mud castles. Here, making is gerund and love is transitive verb. You simply understand here one thing, that it can be the subject of a verb or the object of a verb. Gerund can be the subject of a verb or the object of a verb. But if it comes before the if it becomes the subject of a verb, so it will be placed before the verb. And if it becomes the object of a verb, it will be placed after a verb. Now, point number 3, object of a preposition means here the gerund will be placed after the preposition, because it is an object, no, that is why it is after the preposition. Now let's understand with the help of example. I am fond of gardening. Here, of is preposition and gardening is gerund. Now the last point, that is complement of a verb. What I most detest, detest means hate. Okay, what I most detest is smoking, means I don't like smoking. Here, is, that is verb, and smoking is gerund. Now students, for the help, for giving you more help, I have brought some, some selected questions taken from the exercises. So I hope it will clear your doubts regarding participles, infinitives and gerunds. Let's discuss it one by one. Question number 1, he is fond of playing cricket. Here, playing is gerund, and it is, what is a function of this gerund, that it is doing the work, it is an object of the preposition. And what is preposition? Of. Now in the second example, playing cricket he gained health. Here, playing is participle, present participle. And why it is present participle? Because it is here, the function of this present participle is, it is the verb, right? So it shows continuity. While playing cricket he gained health. Now number 3, the old man was tired of walking. Here, walking is gerund, and it is the object of a preposition, because just before walking you can see of is written, and of is preposition, and walking is coming just after preposition, so it is object of preposition. Now, walking alone on road, he noticed a dead cobra. But here, walking, you see, here, walking alone on road, the person was walking. While walking, no, he noticed a dead cobra. So, the work of walking, the act of walking was going on, right? And that very time only he noticed a dead cobra. So, it is present participle. Walking is present participle. Now, seeing is believing. Here, seeing and believing is gerund. Seeing is the subject, while believing is the object. Now, seeing, he believed. Here, seeing is present participle and it talks about the continuity. While seeing, he believed, right? So, these are the basic differences between gerund and participle. The similarity, you remember, both of them end with ing suffix. So it might confuse you whether it is present participle or gerund, but you have to understand, you have to see their function. How does it work? If it works like a noun or a verb, it is gerund. If it works like a verb or adjective, it is present participle. Now the next exercise, this is the last exercise. 6 questions are there. I'm going to explain you one by one. We saw a man standing on his head, right? So we saw a man standing. Now when we saw that man, he was standing, means the process was going on, right? Continuity is there, so it is present participle. And this present participle standing is qualifying the noun man. Which man which who was standing? So the man was standing. Now, number 2, smoking is a bad habit. It is prohibited here. Here, smoking is gerund, and it is the subject of a verb, that is is. Now, singing to herself was her chief delight. Here, singing is gerund, and it is the subject of a verb. Which verb? Was. Now, fourth one. Thank you, Jew, for teaching me that word. Here, teaching is gerund, and you can see just before teaching, for is there. So, it is the object of preposition. For is preposition here. Now, the fifth one. The creaking door awakened the dog. Now, you find out what it is. Creaking is what? Present participle, right? Why it can't be gerund? Because it is not the subject. It is not the acting as a noun, right? Here door, which door? Creaking door means आवाज करता हुआ door, right? So it is talking about the door. It tells more about the door. It is qualifying the door, and door is noun. So a word which qualifies noun or pronoun, that is called adjective, right? And here it is not an adjective because ing form is there. So it is present participle. What this is what we have read, no, that a present participle is ing form of verb which act like adjective. So your creaking is present participle, and it is qualifying which noun? Door. Now number 6, I like reading Shakespearean poems. Here reading is gerund, and it is the object of the verb. Which verb? Like. And here like is transitive verb. I hope you know the difference between transitive and intransitive verb. Transitive verb has its sub object, and intransitive verb doesn't have its object. So these are the differences, and this is the way in your examination also you will be asked questions. Now students, I hope you like this video. I hope you have understood these non finite verbs properly, infinitives, participles, and gerunds. If you have missed any videos which were based on participles and infinitives, I will share the link below this below means in the description box. Go through those videos properly, okay? And share this video among your friends so that they can also learn grammar things. Having any doubts, write your comments, write your queries, write your questions in the comment section, okay? Subscribe to this to my channel to get the latest videos uploaded, okay? And share among your friends. Till then, take care. Bye bye.